Hey everybody, Michael here. I just wanted to share with you a recent presentation I did for business owners out in Mercer Island talking about every aspect of the social media content process. It was a very good event because we were able to cover a ton of topics. I hope you get a lot of value out of this presentation today. Make sure you bust out your notepad and take copious notes. And as always, if you have any other questions at all, make sure you hit the comment section down below. Thanks.
Today we have Michael with Praise Media and his team to share with us.
So let me just get kind of a sense of where everybody's at as far as like social media video. Anybody who posts like consistently, like at least 3-4 times a week. There we go. All right, yeah, I see yours a lot. How about like who's like brand new? Like, man, I have zero clue what social media even is. Like, I'm just brand new to the space. Anybody here? No? Okay, so I'll just say for the most part, we're all just like kind of new to the space, new to the world. We know social media, but maybe we don't post as many videos. That's fine. Our intention today is to really just give you a blueprint as far as like a roadmap to specify what type of videos you can use to basically promote your business. Because we all know that social media is extremely powerful to strengthen your brand as well as bring awareness about what you do and what you represent. So we're basically going to be giving you some tips and hacks that you can use. And we're going to cover the entire content creation process. And there's 5 steps, okay? So 1 is coming up with the ideas. 2 is scripting and outlining the ideas. 3 is filming. So whether you're filming yourself or you work with another media team. 4 is editing the content. And then 5 is posting and managing the content. So we're going to cover all that today. So it's just going to be like 4 hours long. So this is not going to take so long. Just kidding. I'll be as fast as I can. So our gift to you, I'll remind you at the end, is I'm going to give you, and you guys can think about it, I'm going to give you one of the following. So you either get a free film session where we're just going to shoot one video of yourself, which will be upstairs, a free headshot session. So if you need to update a headshot for one of your platforms, you came to the right place today. Or 3, you get a free social media video call with yours truly. So we'll basically audit one of the platforms that you're on, and we'll develop a strategy for you. So that's all free. So you get to choose one of these 3. So by the time this presentation is over, you just have your decision and just let us know what path you want to take, okay? So with that said, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I grew up here in the greater Seattle area, specifically in Everett. I've been involved in the social media space since 2017. I used to be an actor, so I lived in Hollywood for like 5 years, so I kind of have experience in front of and behind the camera. So I've been doing that for quite some time. Did a lot of social media marketing for corporate, on the corporate level, specifically for insurance. And it got to the point where I was like, man, I feel like there's a need out there for businesses to do social media. So I literally just turned in my 2 weeks and started Praise Media 2 years ago. And now we've been growing ever since. So we help specifically real estate businesses, but we're also open to helping other entrepreneurs and businesses as well. And through our help, we've generated hundreds of millions in revenue, as well as millions of views per month for our clients that we work with. So one of the main reasons why people love working with us is that, as business owners, we want to get leads, qualified leads, right? That's like the blood of the business. And so I tell clients and people all the time that social media is the huge amplifier when it comes to marketing. So whether you're doing cold calls, you're knocking on doors, you're attending networking events or mastermind events, video is going to amplify all that, right? And so people come to us for that help. And at the same time, we're able to help them save a lot more time. So if you're doing content by yourself, you're spending anywhere between 40 to 50 hours a week. So it's basically like a full-time job because you're coming up with the ideas, you're researching it, you're filming yourself, you're editing, and it just takes so much time. And so one of the other main reasons why people work with us is that they're able to save that time and dedicate it more towards growing their business in other ways, spending time with family, investing in themselves, what have you. And so, like I said, these are just some of the things that people have said about us, working with us. things of that nature. And so why video? So one thing is that it helps brand awareness, like I just said. Two, it helps build authority in your space. So Matt, can anybody, I know Rachel's in real estate. Are you in real estate as well?
Title and this first.
Okay, title, so kind of the same thing. Anybody else? What other industries are out here today?
We're a nonprofit art group.
Okay, art group, that's great. Anybody else?
Senior living.
Senior living, okay, awesome. Yeah, so basically it's gonna help you build more authority in your space. So no matter what industry you're in, there's always gonna be somebody that's, like I like to tell people, it's kind of cheesy, but there's always somebody out there that's waiting to hear your voice. So when people are like, oh man, social media is saturated, or like, oh man, like, who am I? You know, they have the whole imposter syndrome, right? Dude, there's 8 billion people on Earth. So there's always gonna be somebody that's waiting to hear your voice. And I was just telling Sean this earlier, who's on my team. You know, I see social media as like, almost like Netflix, right? There's tons of genres, millions of TV shows and movies. Everybody has a favorite TV show or movie, even though it's in the same genre. So your voice, somebody may love. They're like, oh, dude, I love the way that he or she presents the information or like shows up on camera compared to somebody else. So there's always going to be opportunity there. And if you didn't know this already, according to a recent study, 74% of consumers buy from people that they like, know, and trust. And so the power of video basically speeds that process up. So instead of like door knocking all day, trying to pick up a deal, trying to pick up like a real estate deal, you pump out a video, that reach can like 20 or even 40x that, just based on that expertise. So that said, like I said, there's 5 steps to the content creation process. We're gonna touch base on each of them today. And then, so first we're gonna start with ideation, meaning how do we come up with ideas for video? Because I hear it all the time, people are like, oh man, like, I don't even know what to talk about. Like, what do I talk about? How do I create a video? So usually I like to put it in 2 buckets. One is evergreen content, meaning it's content that lives forever. So we all know what YouTube is, right? Everybody has been on YouTube. Awesome. So that's like the second largest search engine on Earth behind Google. And Google owns YouTube. So you're basically, so YouTube is home to like a bunch of different types of content. And so, for example, say that you're in a fitness space, right? And you do like weight loss content. Someone can type in, oh, weight loss company on Mercer Island, and then things would pop up. And now what's happening, like especially on Google, is that videos are starting to pop up. Not just YouTube videos, but also Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, the list goes on and on. And we'll go into those details. But you have the evergreen content, which is search-based, and then you have the more trending content. So you see like a lot of meme videos that are out there. You see like people dancing and stuff like that. So those are usually the 2 types of content. Ideas here, organic, so not ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT to help you like brainstorm, but as far as coming up with ideas, there's a lot of better ways and other methods that you can use to do that. So I'm gonna share that with you right now. So the first thing that you can do is use Google Trends. So like what I just said earlier, Google is the #1 search engine on Earth. And so this is a free tool that you can basically type in any keyword and it will show you live statistics of what people are currently searching on Google. And what's great about it as well is that it's separated by demographic, so age, the geographic, so you can find exactly where people are searching. And then also you can see, I should have put a screenshot here, but it's like, you can also see a data of like seasonality. So for example, like Halloween, obviously people are looking for like decorations and stuff during October. And so you can see like real life data of people searching specific keywords. Another, this is free, but you can also get a paid subscription. It releases more tools. It's called Ask Socrates. So it's very similar to Google Trends, but this is for the entire internet. So you could type in a keyword and it will show you what people are searching for on the whole scope of the internet. So it's really helpful and help you come up with ideas. And then lastly, specifically for Instagram, because one, that's a platform that we focus on as a company. And then two, it's huge as far as like shorts, short video, is that if you go to the Explore page on Instagram and hit Reels, you can see the best performing videos in your industry, especially when you type in the keyword and see, what works. I mean, I don't encourage to like copy it verbatim, but you can at least see, oh man, this video is doing pretty well, so I'm gonna take some things from it and see if I can implement that in my videos. So those are kind of 3 ways that we do for my content and then for our clients' content, developing ideas. And then also, I have something called the content bag strategy. So the way that works is that you have something that you're known for, right? So it could be automotive industry, it could be senior living. And so that's gonna be something that you're known for. And then attached to that are things that are semi-related to it, but also brings more of your personality out. So what I encourage is that you have content that's mainly centered around what your main topic is, but at the same time, you sprinkle in things that may be personal. Like, so Rachel, I'm gonna use you for example, like she's great at real estate, like that's her main jam, but she also sprinkles in her hobbies and interests, which is like hiking, like showcasing like different trails that she does, which is great because that creates a connection with other people that may be interested in that. It shows another side of you because you're not just known for like one single thing, you're actually like a human being, which people love as well. And so they connect to that. So this is just kind of an example here. So like big things are like day in the life. So basically showing, day in the life of a business owner. Here's what I do from like 7 a.m. to when I sleep. Sharing wins. So testimonial content's huge for businesses. Like working with clients that have done well with your service or product and talking about it. Showcasing hobbies and interests. Industry news. So, for example, like for you ladies, being in the art world, you can discuss like, oh man, this is this hot up and coming artist that's in the area, talking about their artwork. So that'd be an example of that. And then opinions and reactions. So reaction videos are huge right now, like on shorts. So there's a lot of people that play snippets from like a previous clip and then they respond to it. So whether they agree with what the person is saying or not. So we've been testing that a lot. It's been doing really well. So yeah, so with that said, with that strategy, it's always important to have the subtopics, but you don't want to do random stuff. So like, let's say, you're a private chef, you don't want to be like, oh dude, I just went like skydiving or something like that. You want something that's like kind of related to what you're doing. And so for example here, like if you're in automotive, you don't want to talk about animals, but a good video would be like, oh, these are my favorite animals that are represented by like car companies or something like that. You guys can screenshot this if you want, but these are just more ideas that you can think about when creating video content. So this is I'm not going to go through all of them, but like I said, day in the life, client testimonials, neighborhood guides. So like showcasing different like community events, restaurants, business owners in the area. That's always great content because it just shows that you're well connected. And then also answering common questions. This is probably the most overlooked one that a lot of people do not do, or that this is a good way to start. So say that you're starting to create content, people always have questions. And the main thing that I encourage people to do is like put yourself in the shoes of the absolute beginner of like what you were in the industry like years ago. So say that you were like in title and escrow. What was it like from day one? Like what questions did you have? And you can develop content from that, right? So Q&As, reaction videos I touched on, and then the community events. No excuses for coming up with content. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to come up with like hundreds of ideas and just basically just fleshing them out and creating them. So where do I store my topics? So I'll give you guys a couple of tools on that. So has anybody ever heard of Notion by chance? The tool Notion? Okay, there we go. Do you like it? Well, never mind.
Nobody's ever really like taken me through how to use it.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
For a client or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's over here, it's over here.
Right.
It's kind of a mess, but I think it does seem like a good.
Yeah, it's kind of convoluted, but I just use like the basic form of it, like I think it's a good way to just kind of categorize things like for a list. So I would suggest that because it's free too. And then also what we use for our clients, we just use a Google spreadsheet. So what we do is we usually do the video topic, and I can send you this. I can send it to Jen, and she can send it to you guys if you want, just like a base template. And then hook, I'll go more into detail about that, but that's basically the first 1 to 5 seconds of the video. Okay, and so we usually like to have that sentence for our clients, and then we just keep track. What type is it going to be? A talking head video, green screen, what have you. Then we usually put a link to the script here or outline, and then we just keep track of if it's done or not. So we like to just keep things a little simple. Okay, so now we're gonna get to scripting and outlining. And yeah, I'll be sure to leave, if you guys have questions, we'll do that at the very end for sure, and I'll be sure to answer all of them. So scripting is huge because you have people that can go like off the cuff, right? They're just like, oh, just give me the topic and I'll just talk, right? But starting out, I think it's really important to at least have some type of outline or talking points that you have, right? So I'm just going to kind of break down a video that I'm going to show you an example of like one of our clients' videos that went pretty viral, and then I'll tell you what we did there. So basically we have the hook, what I just talked about. So it's basically the first 1 to 5 seconds for a short form video, and then for a long form video, like anywhere, it's going to be like the first 20 to 30 seconds. So that's basically going to be the main indicator if someone is going to watch the rest of the video. So you really want to focus on that part, on that beginning. The body is going to be your talking points and as to why someone is going to continue to watch. So the talking points, and it's important to show like social proof, especially if you're giving tips or if you have like testimonials or if you're showing as to why your product or service is good for a client. It's great to show proof. And then call to action is basically the last part of the video. So what do you want that viewer to do? Do you want them to give you a follow? Do you want them to comment in the comment section? Do you want them to leave information so you can send them like a freebie or something like that? So call to action is basically that last sentence of the video. So I wanted to show you, so this is our real estate client in Seattle. So this one we did quite a bit ago actually. And so main premise was that she did a wholesale, or she did a fix and flip property, and she got $342,000 on it. So we were like, okay, we need to make like the first 5 seconds just like hit, right? So that's okay. What I'll do is—
I was in my paycheck. I got wired $342,000 yesterday.
Yeah, so what we did there, so you notice, so like with a hook, there's usually 3 things that you need, right? Or there's 3 ways you can do a hook. You can do a visual hook, which is like, you notice that banner, it said, I made $342,000. A verbal hook, which is what she said. She goes, I made, look at my bank account. I made $342,000 on my flip. And so we're just like, dude, let's combine all 3. Let's do the banner. Let's show your bank account with the actual number and pay attention to it. And then put an arrow so people know exactly where the amount. And then the reaction was like, because like I didn't know she was gonna do that. And so yeah, that was like a real reaction in the back. We're like, oh, like what? Dang. Like, and then so from there she went on to talk about like how she did it. So it was a pretty educational video. I'll play a little bit more of it.
The reason why when you get a $300,000 paycheck and you still get to go to the gym and spend time building investment portfolio with—
Yeah, so she just talks about how that's enabled her to free up more time to spend time with her family and things like that.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the video so far. If you need help implementing anything that I've went over, be sure to visit praisemedia.com and one of our teammates will reach out to you.
So with that, like on TikTok, it hit like 100,000 views like in 24 hours. It just went like super, super viral. So So yeah, I also want to give you a free tool as well for the script template, like what I just went over. So if you want to screenshot that and visit the link, you can. It just gives you like a free template of what I just went over, of breaking it down. It's an online document too, so you can type into it, and it's a PDF that you can use as well. So you can take a picture of that real quick. So visual elements. So when you're putting your video together, it's really important to use these two things. So I won't go in order, I'll do subtitles first. So pretty alarming stat, 85% of viewers watch video without sound. So, we're like constantly on our phones, right? We're just like watching, not listening to the noise, but actually so reading the subtitles is key. So adding some type of subtitles is huge. And that's just gonna increase video views by 80%. And then also B-roll. So what that is that's like extra footage. So say, for example, you're talking about your time watching the Mariners game, right? So you're just like, oh man, it was an amazing game. Rodriguez hit a home run. So while you're telling the story, it would show a footage of him hitting a home run, right? So that would be called B-roll. So that's showing footage to, here's just a couple more samples here. We have, a couple more of our clients that basically used this strategy. So it was really B-roll laden. So this one did really well on YouTube Shorts. Say for our client here that talked about, he basically was just talking about how being materialistic isn't worth it. How it's self gratification is key to sacrificing for what you want in the long term. So those are two ideas there. And so filming and equipment. So this is probably the question I get most with people starting out is man, where do I even start? How do I, what do I use, right? So these are kind of the 3 or 4 things that are super crucial, right? It's one is a camera. And this is all you need. iPhone, Android, as long as it shoots 4K, you're good to go. I mean, depending on what your budget is, right? Or, if the budget isn't an option, you can use a camera like this. It's like a DSLR, mirrorless camera. What kind of camera do you use, Sean?
The A7 IV.
Yeah, A7 IV. You have the same one, Ariel? Yeah. A7 IV as well. We're all Sony guys, so we're kind of biased, but yeah, you can go with a Nikon, Canon. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you can't afford those big cameras, iPhone is all you need. This bad boy is really good. A tripod, so something like that can hold the camera or phone. Audio. This is very important because when it comes to a video, besides the quality of the video, the audio is extremely important. If the audio is not good, someone's going to check out. It decreases engagement like crazy. So my go-to, I like using wireless lav mics. So I actually have one here. So this one in particular is called the DJI Mic 2. So what basically this is this is kind of like a magnetic, and you can clip it on here and just use it. It's Bluetooth, so it basically just connects to your camera. Because I don't want to trip over cords and stuff, and have the clients trip over cords. Or you can use something like a shotgun mic like this, that's on this camera, and that captures sound as well. But getting the best sound, these ones are really, really good. And then lastly, lighting is really important. So I'm a huge proponent on using natural light. So this place would be perfect because you have big windows. So all you got to do is just stand in front of the window. You have the light coming in. But you can also use something like this. Is like an LED light that you can connect to your camera. It's pretty bright. And then also, as you'll see up there, we have something called a softbox. That's kind of like a bigger light. But yeah, it really just depends on your budget, what you want. But those are the crucial things that you would need to get started. And so with that said, I have another freebie for you guys. So this is like a live doc that basically gives you a list of all of the equipment that we use as a company that we've experimented and tested. So everywhere from lighting to cameras to other miscellaneous equipment. And it's a live doc, so we're constantly like adding stuff to it. So I just want to share with you some best camera settings so you can decide to use a phone or like a standard camera like this. So 4K, 60 frames per second. That's kind of like, in my opinion, that's the best like quality video you'll get, like crispy video you'll get. And then also having the grid lines turned on. I'm not going to go too much into detail about that, but it basically just helps you with framing. So it really just helps you maintain eye level with the camera, things of that nature. And then for like cameras for starting out, like I just automize everything. So everything auto settings. And then also there's one thing I want to add. Oh yeah, then also just remember, the vertical is for shorts. So like shooting it like vertically, and then horizontal for like longer YouTube videos. But the beauty of what Ariel was just talking about with the Osmo Pocket 3 is that the settings are pretty solid. Like you don't really have to go into the settings too much to change stuff. It's just already ready to go. You just pull it out of the box, charge it, and then turn it on, and it works pretty good. So something to keep in mind. Yeah, so I know I threw out a lot of information at you guys. So these are kind of like some questions to ask before you start. So this first question is the biggest, in my opinion, is the biggest problem that's going on in content creation is that a lot of people have zero clue who they're talking to. They have no idea, like they just pray that their content is going to magically find that person they want to do business with, and they're going to DM them, and the rest is history, right? No, so it's really important to pinpoint who you're talking to, right? Like, even if you have to like make it up in your mind, like who that person looks like, what their name is, their age, what their interests are, you want to be speaking to that person with every piece of content that you have. Why do you want to do this? I put this question here because, like I said, it's a grind creating content. It takes a lot of time. And so there's going to be days where you're like, oh, do I really have to put makeup on and film this content? Do I really have to contact my media team and get content going? The more powerful your why is, the more inclined you're going to be able to get over those obstacles, those days that you just want to not do it. And then also, what type of content do you want to film? So you can do talking head videos, vlogs, which is like it's kind of raw. You're just walking around shooting content like that. High quality, low quality skits. There's plenty of ways to like package your content as well as the type of content you want to film and present. And so just editing here, just gonna give you some resources here. So I kind of organize this by like easy to hard, right? But when I say hard, it's not like it's impossible. It's more like the learning curve is a little higher when it comes to learning these softwares. So the easy ones, in my opinion, are here. Ariel and Sean, you can chime in on here if you want. So this is called InShot. So this is for like iPhone, Android. Opus Clip, that's like an AI tool. So what's great about that is that you can put in like clips from your Google Drive or like YouTube videos, long form, and it'll automatically cut them into shorts. And you can also put subtitles on there. So that's a great way to just like, if you want to pump out a bunch of short form content, you can do that. And then CapCut, very easy to use because you can use it on your phone as well as on a computer. Medium, Submagic.io, that's an AI tool as well. Very similar to Opus Clip. But it has a little bit more features. I like Submagic.io a little bit more. And then I just put CapCut here because there's a lot of other features and filters and things like that you can utilize in your editing. And these are, I would say, are like the top 3 in the industry as far as like editing. If you want to get like top tier, like really, really good editing, it would be Adobe Premiere Pro, DaVinci, and then Final Cut Pro. So these 3 are kind of like, I would say, the top 3. Would you guys add any more to that?
I mean, I like Premiere Pro, but I throw it out because it crashes too much.
Okay.
But if you want good coloring, DaVinci Resolve would be good. But I'd say the best one that's the most simple is Final Cut.
Yeah, I agree. I use that to this day. Yeah.
It's the most organized, probably out of all of these.
Yeah, especially go ahead.
With these 3, only DaVinci's free. the ones with the easier ones. To me, if you're just doing simple stuff, I think CapCut's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super easy to use. You could use it on your iPhone, your laptop, and your iPad. There's 3 different platforms it'll be on. I use it on all of it. Yeah, it's super easy to get stuff done really fast.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Exactly. So you guys can definitely check those out. And feel free, if you have business cards up there, if you want to text me anytime, if you have any questions like outside of this, just hit me up and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions on any of this stuff. So just a little bit more tips on editing. So like, especially for short form, so hard-hitting info, we just want to make it as concise as possible. So I like to keep it on average anywhere between like 40 to 45 seconds. Because you just want quick hit info, boom, hit them in the face, and inspire them to watch another video, so on and so forth. And so depending, it's really up to you if you want to add trending music or not. I don't really see like a big deal of adding trending music. But it's really totally your call. And then right here, you have 3 seconds to make an impression. This is like, you've heard the saying, impressions are everything, right? So you only have 3 seconds to really give that person an opportunity to watch the rest of your video. So that's why I always say the first 3 seconds, really focus on that the most when you're filming content, whether you're working by yourself or with a team. And then lastly, on the content creation process is posting. So there's different strategies, right? So like you can repurpose a long form content, meaning you shoot a long form video for YouTube and then you pick and choose different spots in the long form and make it into shorts. And then also like using the green screen is something that's been trending as well as shorts. So for example, you go on Instagram, you screenshot like an article, you put it behind you, and then you can talk about it. So you can be like, oh, huge event coming on this Friday that I'm gonna be at, or open house coming up, this is the house that we're gonna be doing, and you just point at it. So really, so like as you can see, this is my friend Connor here. He's just talking about, he's from Richfield, so there's like a new Costco being built there, so everybody was like super excited about it. So he was just talking about that area there. And then lastly, we just want to be able to drive engagement. That's the key. So especially on Instagram, watch time and engagement are the 2 biggest factors to look at for a video to see if it performs well. And so definitely keep that in mind when you're looking here. And then this is kind of like a suggested filming plan. Again, we just focus on YouTube and Instagram, so this is just specifically for that. So if you're like on TikTok and stuff, you could probably add it to that as well. But this is just what we feel that works best. So like posting 1 long form video a week, short form videos, 3 to 4, and then for Instagram, 3 to 4 reels a week, and then 5 to 7 stories a day. So that's basically saying, hey guys, huge event going on tonight. Can't wait to see ya. Taking advantage of the features, so like the polls, the question features on Instagram as well. And then I'm telling you, these is what's gonna make or break like your relationship with your viewers. Is responding to comments and then answering the DMs. I'm telling you, that is the most overlooked thing that a lot of content creators miss. Is that because people have questions, and it's crazy like how excited people get like when you respond to their comment or DM, especially if it's like a video or something like that. Like, oh, thanks for following me. And they just get ecstatic. So creating that relationship, that's the biggest relationship builder when it comes to these platforms. Any questions?
Do you have hair, makeup, and clothes upstairs?
Oh man, that's a good one.
I'm like, y'all should have told us.
Sean had that. So. Man, I was just like, are you serious for a second? Man,
I have a
Unfortunately
question
not.
about your scripting.
yeah.
So like talking on camera makes me really nervous, but I
Sure.
like taking videos. So as far as scripting goes, what's your recommendation? Like how many times should you practice your script before you go on screen? Like once or 100? Like what do you recommend?
Yeah, really good question. So for me, like what I do with my clients is that I just let the camera roll and I just let them mess up as much as they want. And the reason being is that editing, you can take out all the bad stuff.
Thanks so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. As always, if you have any questions at all, make sure you state them in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them as soon as possible. Until next time, stay safe and stay blessed.